We are back, guys. We apologize for any technical difficulties or interruptions you experienced, but we are back here on WagerTalk TV. I'm Andrew McInnis alongside Carmine Bianco and Buster Sports. Let's not waste any time, guys. Let's jump into it. Let's get right into our first game with the Vegas Golden Knights, the Colorado Avalanche. The price sits at minus 145 and plus 125 for the Golden Knights. Total sits at 5.5. I got to say, I was impressed by the way the Avalanche came out to get that early lead, but what a collapse it was for them. And it was not pretty after that. Carmine, we'll go to you for your thoughts on this game.
Listen, first of all, hopefully we're broadcasting here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. A tough one here because, the Avalanche looked fantastic through the first couple of games. We know what happened to Vegas in that first game. They played much better in that second game, and now they come back from Vegas, and we're even at 2. And now actually the pressure shifts on this Colorado Avalanche team to get a win at home, where they've been absolutely fantastic over the last month and a half or 2 months. I think they're like 20-0-1, something like that, or 21-0-1. But they don't want to lose at home to this Vegas team and then go back to T-Mobile and have to win there to extend this series. They need to get the win tonight. As far as sides, I still have to go with the Avalanche. It's just one of those ones where I think, Andrew, your favorite phrase over the last month or so has been, the series isn't over until you've lost on home ice. They haven't lost on home ice thus far. They're playing extremely well, but they need to sort of flip momentum back in their favor. As far as goals go, Vegas is getting Colorado to play their style of game. These 3-2, 4-1 type of games are what you might expect again tonight. If I'm looking at it purely from a bettor's point of view, I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to lean to Colorado here because the price at this point is low enough. I think the price is only about 145 or 150. And with the Colorado team at home, that's a great price. But Vegas is getting a lot of respect, which is why that price is where it is right now. So for me, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to lean to Colorado and the under here.
Colorado and the under. Look, I've seen so many opinions regarding this series, Buster. I'm curious what you're going to say about this one, because let's backtrack a little bit and look at that goal that tied things up, or I think it might have been the go-ahead goal. I think it was the tie goal for the Vegas Golden Knights. They put that puck off the back of Philip Grubauer. It's playoff hockey. Bounces happen. Stuff like that happens. But at home, like I said, and I've been saying, like Carmine was just mentioning, you're different at home. You're comfortable playing at home. Fans or not, teams are different at home. And I look at this game in particular, and like Carmine said, the series now switches. I mean, the pressure comes back on the Avalanche to try and regain some confidence and regain control of this series. You always talk about prices, Buster. So I'm curious how you feel about this price after what you saw in the past, 4 games.
Yeah, as you say, Andrew, with the prices here, minus 140, and the way Vegas has been playing, I mean, for me, I actually like Colorado to come out in the first period here. We must remember, like you said, you just talked about that goal that went in off the back of Grubauer. Colorado was pretty close to be going up 3-0 in this series. And I think after that loss, they were so close to going up game 4, they just didn't show up, right? So it's very like Vegas just dominated the game. And home ice, especially now in Colorado, in Carolina, in Tampa, in Vegas, the fans are allowing everybody to come to the game. That is huge. Always has been a huge advantage in NHL hockey. So I'm with Carmine here. I do like Colorado. Not sure if I'm going to get to the window at 140 or 145, but I will bet Colorado. I think they were 135 for the first period. I think they have to come out with purpose. I really like a home team when they've lost a couple of games, coming back to the home team where at home they're 16-1 in the last 17 games at home. I agree with you guys. It's a home series. Colorado probably wins
think we're losing Buster a little bit here. I'll just step in. Buster, we'll get you right back in just 20 seconds. Hit a little quick refresh for us. But yeah,
Back.
Buster talking about the home ice.
Yeah.
You're back. All right, Buster, continue.
Colorado probably wins tonight. Vegas wins on the next game, and we're going to have a game 7, which is good for Montreal to at least maybe win one game, right, Carmine?
Yeah, listen, it's and I get it, Buster. It's all joking aside. Andrew knows when I say Winnipeg in 3. Let's quantify a few things. Winnipeg in 3 is obviously a joke,
Yes,
as
of
far as that
course.
one goes. And in the Leaf series, while I didn't put out a series winner or a series play, I did say I think heading into Game 3, if you're going to take the Leafs and lay that big of a price, you might as well take the Leafs in 5 and get plus 350 on your money. I'm talking about making plays in game or in series to offer value instead of laying that big chunk of juice, which a lot of people laid in a lot of these series. And I know you're not a big juice eater, Buster, so you can understand that. But uh, it will be a tough series for Montreal. I will say this about the
Oh,
Colorado
yes.
one, and just to preface it, and Andrew knows, a couple of the series bets that I had a very good first round of the series, but I did have the Boston Bruins minus 1.5 games in the series, thinking they would win it in 6 or less, and the same for Colorado. So thinking that Colorado is a definite win at home, because I want to win that series bet where they'd have to win in 6 in Vegas, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. It didn't happen with Boston. I didn't expect Boston to come home and lose to the Islanders, but they did. So these things happen. This is what makes the NHL playoffs this year as great as they've ever been. Is there's so many competitive games out there. There's so many feel good stories for you guys, of course, but this has been a great playoffs. You can't be disappointed.
What I find very interesting about this series right now, where we are, is that I always spoke about how I really believe that throughout the lineup, the Colorado Avalanche had pieces to get the job done when Nathan McKinnon wasn't scoring. And right now, it seems like they're only winning games when he's scoring a goal. He's around plus 135, 145 to score a goal tonight. And I'm looking at betting that. We're going to touch on some more props later on in the prop segment, but it's interesting, guys, with a guy like Donskoy and Burakovsky. You'd think the depth would show up. Rantanen scored, but it seems like right now Vegas kind of has them figured out. I never really thought I'd be saying this about the Avalanche, but they're kind of being exposed as top heavy right now. And we'll see what we can get out of them tonight. But I think one of the favorite things from Avalanche fans and the media, what they would always talk about online, is the fact that they had countless guys that could show up and score goals. You look at the Montreal Canadiens series, I think the Habs had 8 or 9 guys that scored in that series. That's only a 4-game series. But I mentioned also, Carmine, 2 days ago that Vegas or the Avalanche really need Nazem Kadri. I was making jokes about how he always gets suspended, but teams pick him up for a reason. He is actually a playoff kind of player. Obviously, he's made some stupid mistakes. He's committed some really horrible hits that have put him in tough positions. But I think this Avalanche team is really getting exposed that they're top heavy. This is going to be, and the thing is too, if you're a kind of guy that really, really cares a lot about quotes from teams, how about Jared Bednar? What he had to say and what happened and what the response was from his team. It wasn't good enough, so I'll be interested to see what happens after that big call out before last game. And they put up that performance. Not only is the series tied up, but realistically, the morale in your room needs some jump and some pep. And this game, they really need it. Look, I know I might be going against the grain here because the goaltending has been so great from both Fleury and Grubauer. I'm looking over 5.5 here, guys. I expect an exciting game, and you can never count out these over 1.5s or over 2.5s in the third period. They have been money with the empty net goals and the late pushes from different teams. So before I move on to the next game, I want to, number one, apologize to Carm for not mentioning his 5% winner. I was so excited about my team winning, I didn't even congratulate Carmine. So, Carm, I apologize for that,
No,
for forgetting that.
it's listen, it's what we do, Andrew. They win, they lose. We talk about it. At the end of the day, It's all about bankroll management out there with your plays and stuff. I've had days where, I have seven soccer plays. 6 of them are 4% plays that win, and one is a 5% play that loses. And I feel like absolute crap because I know there's people out there that put a vested interest on one more than the other, and there really shouldn't be that much. But with that said, I wish you guys the best of luck. I know Brian, like we said, Brian Leonard has a 5% play in NHL tonight, and you have a 5% play loaded as well too. So continued good fortune on those ones.
Thanks, Carm. Tonight, I'm going for my 9th straight MLB 5% play or winner to start the year off. 9 in a row is what we're going for as far as 5% NHL plays. And I also have a tennis 5% play at 3 o'clock Eastern time. This is the first time ever I've had 2 5% plays fall on the same day. The tennis match got moved, as you know, they usually do, Carm. The times change. So 2 5% plays in one day. Great time to buy a day pass versus just looking to buy the one play. Buster, I want to go to you first for the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Carolina Hurricanes. Short favorites here, minus 125 for the Lightning, Hurricanes plus 105. And I don't know about you, Buster, but it kind of seems like to me the same people that were saying that the series is easily going to be Colorado's are saying the same thing about the Lightning. What are your thoughts here on this series?
Well, Andrew, I know all of us have a vested interest in Carolina winning, which I don't see it. But tonight, I got to believe you're going to see the best game out of Carolina, and we'll push this game to a game 6. I believe they're going to put Nedeljkovic back in the net. I haven't seen anything official yet, like before I came onto the show. Again, Carolina only lost 3 games in regulation at home, and here they lose both their games 2-1 to Tampa Bay right off the bat in this series. So again, I think Carolina, the problem is Tampa Bay is not the Leafs. So all of us have the vested interest in Carolina. I can't see them gagging up the series. I think Carolina will win tonight. Tampa Bay probably finishes them off in 6. I hope I'm wrong. I hope maybe, goaltender stands on his head in Tampa Bay. We get it to a game 7, and then anything can happen. But, I like Carolina tonight. I like Carolina first period. I just really think that I'm kind of all in with Carolina tonight, especially, I tell you, they got to be mentally hurt, though, I'd have to think. They're up 4-2. They're looking really good, and then Tampa Bay does what Tampa Bay is able to do, and that's why they're the Stanley Cup champions. And what's really hurt Carolina here is that they were one of the best teams in the special teams, and they're losing that battle. And if Tampa Bay gets a bunch of power plays tonight, you got to hope for, being a Carolina fan, you got to hope for the referees to put that whistle in their mouths and not blow it. And hopefully that they don't it doesn't go to the box too often, and then they'll be all right. If Tampa Bay gets 4 or 5 power plays, this series might be over in 5.
I agree with that. Special teams is certainly important. And Carm, I've said a lot of times that it takes a good team to be able to win low-scoring games and high-scoring games. And that's pretty much what we're seeing right now from the Tampa Bay Lightning. They found a way to win 2-1 games. They found a way to win 6-4 games. How do you stop this Lightning team?
It's very simple. Don't take any penalties. If Carolina takes any penalties tonight, excuse me, they could be in trouble. Excuse me. But 3 power plays, 4 power plays. This team, Tampa Bay, is just scoring on the power play. It seems almost at will. Obviously, with Kucherov coming back and into that thing, Stamkos coming back, they're just and the power play prop bets on these guys continue to be plus money. You can get Stamkos plus 125. You can get Kucherov plus 110. You can get Braden Point plus 185. These are the guys who are scoring on the power plays. And those power play point odds of 1 point or more are absolutely phenomenal. Brind'Amour is going to have, I think he's got to have some type of an answer for him. The thing I like about these 2 teams, Andrew, is the coaches, Cooper and Brind'Amour. They're going to keep their teams at bay. They're going to find the solutions to winning games. It's a little different than what we saw last night. Let me tell you, Bruce Cassidy, just not to go off on a tangent, but I'm going to. he's come absolutely unhinged as a coach in that series against the New York Islanders. He's just, I've never seen someone so upset at officials or flustered. Just, you know what? Coach your team, make them play better, and try and win games. With that said, you got to lean to Carolina to try and extend this series at least one more game, send it back at 3-2. I talked about the games 1 and 2 in Carolina, and the analytical numbers after the game all favored Carolina, but the scoreline of 2-1 favored Tampa Bay because they took advantage of the couple mistakes that Carolina made. Game 1, obviously, we talked about it with Nedeljkovic, an error in not covering the far post. It sort of squeezed through. We talked about game 2. A defenseman crosses, he got his sort of his skates crossed at the blue line, allowed a Tampa Bay guy to get around him and in, and a goal. Those are the mistakes. You make those mistakes, but Tampa has taken advantage of the few chances they got in games 1 and 2. I'm going to take Carolina tonight in this game. Hope that they don't make those mistakes and they can somehow. This isn't a team that was down. Yeah, they were down 2-0, but they can get back into the series. They're not down and out. They know if they can send this back to Tampa, the pressure now shifts clearly on Tampa to close out that series in 6 and avoid coming back for Game 7 in Carolina. So let's see if we can extend it. We all love playoff hockey. Let's get another one tonight.
Carmine, wanted to ask you if it's worth a wager for you to look at the over 1.5 power play goals. I'm seeing plus 130 at my book. Is that something you're interested in with this series, seeing as the power plays have been so strong?
Yeah, well, sometimes you don't want to sort of be a prisoner of the moment and look at one game and say, well, it happened in this game, it's going to happen in the next game. It's just like, a chippy game doesn't always spill over into the next game. With that said, 1.5 seems like a bargain, going over 1.5 and getting plus money, because we're not just talking about one team that can score in the power play. We're talking about two teams that can score in the power play, because Carolina had, I think, the number three penalty kill, number 3 power play. That number 3 penalty kill doesn't seem to be working against this Tampa side, but both teams are capable of getting getting power play goals. So it would be worth a play at plus money. I would never lay juice on a prop like that, but I'll probably touch on some of the scorer props, because there's some big plus money ones out there as well too.
Jumping into a few score props, let's get there with just a few. I have just one goal scoring prop, a point prop, and a couple different ones to look at. Let's start off with the guy I mentioned already, Nathan McKinnon, to score a goal tonight for the Colorado Avalanche. Plus 135. You can get that at plus 140, plus 145 as well, but I wanted to give the lowest price for, just for anybody else getting prices like that. Didn't want to give a price higher than the average person can get. But I mean, when you look at that, guys, you kind of are noticing right now the Avalanche go as Nathan McKinnon goes, and I expect him to go tonight and put one in the back of the net behind Fleury. Next one is Andre Burakovsky to score a point at plus 112. He is kind of a depth guy for this team, but he's been great in the playoffs, and he's plus 112 just to get a point. Goal, assist, secondary assist, primary assist. I do believe depth will be a huge key for the Avalanche tonight. And last but certainly not least, guys, this is a prop that's worked really, really well. I know our pal Andy Lang has cashed some tickets betting this as well. Dougie Hamilton, over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 110. Shots from the point have been huge for Carolina, getting shots from their defensemen on the power play as well. Carmine mentions those can be great for props. Certainly are for Dougie Hamilton. So McKinnon to score, Burakovsky for a point, and Hamilton over 3.5 shots are the props I'm going for today. Carm, you'll have a prop for us, but I'm going to go to Buster first for his power play and what he has up to offer for his clients.
Well, Andrew, I just want to say one thing. I've learned a vital lesson here today, that you cannot take shots at Carmine, because he can actually shut down YouTube as you're doing it. It wasn't even my everybody blames Buster's bad internet, but it wasn't even that. So I've learned my lesson, and that will not happen again, for the sake of the show. For me, I'm going to go with my best bet. First period, Carolina money line. So I think Carolina has to come have this established or they're done. Crazy there. I think
Jump
We're
that's an
in,
losing you,
Andrew.
Buster. We're losing you. We're losing you. I think we're losing you. Try and come back. We'll go right, get some final words from you. Get a quick refresh for us. Carolina in the first period.
Sorry.
I think we have you, Buster. You're back at it again with the first period wager, hoping that Carolina can stay on. I'm liking that wager as well. What can you tell us? Just closing remarks here, Buster.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Looks like one of those days, I guess. But I guess that's all right with when all the things are going well for us lately, right, Andrew? Go over to sportsmemo.com. I've got a triple play up, something for everybody: NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. We have been just crushing NBA, 10-0 in our last 10 NBA totals on a 19-4 NBA run. You can grab that package with that NBA play in there for $12, and of course, go Habs.
I love it. I love it. Carmine, you've been killing the props, man. You've been killing the goal scoring props, picking your spot. I know you love pasta. Pasta got 2 yesterday for you. Let's see what you have tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to have some pasta, I think, at lunch once we finish this show. And apologies once again to everyone for the technical difficulties. It does happen at times, especially with 3 different upload speeds and stuff. But with that said, a couple plays up in NHL tonight. You can get them over at WagerTalk.com. The Euros kick off on Friday. I do have a big Euro package where you can get every single play, prop, futures bet. There's already 18 different plays loaded there. Including a 5% play for this weekend in a match day 1 of the Euros. So you can get those over there. Sebastian Aho, plus 145 to score tonight. If he's going to get one, maybe he gets it on the power play. I don't care when he gets it. Let's just hope that he does get one. Pasta got one very early for us and cashed that ticket for us. So that's going to be your show best bet. And listen, I love doing the show with Montreal fans on Tuesdays because usually they win on Mondays. They've probably got a pretty good record. And while I joke around about the Canadians, and let's say getting swept the next series, believe me, there's nothing I would enjoy more than the Canadians winning the Stanley Cup this season. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm surrounded by so many Toronto Maple Leaf fans that this will fuel the fire for the next 15, 20 years that I can talk about that with them. So with that said, best of luck to both you guys. Thanks for everyone tuning in, and back to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Carm. And Carm, there is nothing anybody can say to me anymore. Most of my good friends are all Leafs fans, and I won't hear a word until I'm your age from them. I mean, there's nothing else for them to say really at this point. My best bet, guys, is going to be the Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights over 5.5. I get it. Fleury has been playing great. Grubauer has been great, but I think that so many chances. I don't always look at those advanced Corsi stats and metrics, but with this series, you kind of have to. And I feel like we will see some of the stars come out to play tonight and see some pucks fill the net. So I'm going with over 5.5 at a plus 110 price between the Avs and the Golden Knights. And guys, like I said, crazy day for me. I have 2 5% plays. One is in the afternoon and one is in the evening, and looking to make it 9 in a row. 9 straight 5% MLB winners to start this season off. So looking forward to that. Grab those plays at wagertalk.com. Feel free to grab a day pass, guys. Don't buy both plays. Buy a day pass. You'll get everything I've released for the day. So I'm going with the over in the Knights and Avalanche 5.5. Carmine with Aho to score a goal at a great price of plus 145. And Buster with the Hurricanes first period money line at plus 105. Once again, guys, we apologize for any tech problems. We're happy to have you with us. You guys are the best followers here on Wager Talk TV, at least in my eyes. And we're happy to have you and happy to have you guys commenting every single day. Also happy to have my fellow Habs fan, Buster Sports, on with me. And of course, Carmine, as usual. Best of luck, guys. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Sign up for the free WagerTalk text club to gain access to free plays and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to sign up and get a $10 coupon to use on WagerTalk.com.